Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Walk Up 18. Today we are going to talk about the Tournament Century Champions that starts tomorrow. This is a very unique tournament where the all the players have won the previous year, so obviously there's going to be a lot of quality golfers here. The course is really long. You're going to see some crazy drives, sometimes over 400 yards. Really, what we're going to look for stat wise is approach to green and putting. Scores tend to go very low here. This is one of the easiest courses on the PGA Tour, so it's a birdie fest. So really, you'll want to be able to get the ball in close, score, and try to keep up with the leaders. The other good thing about this event is that it's a no cut event. So you can take a little bit of a risk on some of those players that you may be worried about missing the cut because they're still going to score you points come Sunday, barring a withdrawal or injury. So what I wanted to do today is the previous one, I kind of talked about some tools that I use to pick the golfers. So what I want to do today is show you how I use those and see if it's something you would like to use to see when you're going to pick your golfers, if it makes it any easier for you. So one of the tools that we went into was the Roto Grinder site. So here, this is the first look course once you go into Roto Grinders. This is the free article done by Notorious. There's a lot of great information here. Again, love that it's free. I really, really thank him for doing that. It has a lot of the information about the course, previous winners. You can see, right, easiest course here. There is no water, right? So you don't have to worry about any bogeys coming from hitting it in the water. You will see lots of water, lots of beautiful ocean water, but no water on the course. Again, it's the first tournament of the year, so really exciting to start off. Nice sunny weather, especially for those who live in the cooler climates, maybe up north. I'm fortunate enough to live in the Tampa Bay area, so it's still pretty warm here this time of year, but not as nice as Hawaii, I'm sure. All right. So really the best part about this is that it is sorted into um, odds, or you can sort by salary. And then also they include the past 5 years of how they performed in the tournament. So I like to do a couple different sorts to find either value and then to find like who I may want to choose one player over another. Um, so it's already sorted, you can see here as far as the odds. So what I like to do is sort it again by the salary, the most expensive, right? And then I start normally all the way at the bottom and I look at the odds over here. So what I'm trying to find by doing this is there a player who is low price that has decent odds? So right away, looking at this, you got players with 600, 750, and sandwiched in between 750 to 1 to 251 is 150 to 1 odds. And you got Adam Hadwin, who finished 14th here last year. So, right. Now, again, it's not a big field, but 14 is still a solid finish. And Adam Hadwin has been known to be a really good putter, right? He's a member of the 59 club. And putting is something that is going to be crucial here to win this tournament. At 151, do I think Hadwin's going to win it? Probably not, right? But if you can find someone who can be even 14th, that's only 6,200. This is what's going to allow you to add the Xander Schauffele's, add the Scotty Schefflers, add the expensive top tier players into your salary. And again, all these guys are good. They all won a tournament last year, right? You're probably going to have better success when you see the bigger tournaments. with a lot of different players, you're going to be able to pick these out a little bit better. But for this one, just to show you an example, Habben's one I would probably like to maybe throw in my lineup to start and then see where we can go from there. So what I also like to look at and what I love about this, right, is that you have a nice clean look at the odds and the history. So you can see here just by a standout, hey, Max Homa at 66 to 1 odds, again, sandwiched between a 75 and an 80. Solid finishes here, a top five finish, right? 4 out of 4, never missed the cut. Um, I think Max Homa is probably going to be popular uh, for a few reasons, right? One, his price point at 7,100, his course history here. Uh, my only worry about Max is Max relies heavily on the putter, and he's either hot or he's not. Um, and if any of y'all have ever been watching and you need Max to either make the cut or you need a couple more birdies from Max, if he's not putting well, you're going to see him miss a lot of short putts. Very frustrating. He gets frustrated out on the course as well if they're not dropping. Um, so this is a player when I'm looking at. Am I going to fade Max? Probably not. But do I want to maybe go with a Chris Kirk who may not be as highly owned, or even a Fitzpatrick who, again, had kind of up and down the year last year after being a major winner the year before? I might, right? So, again, when you talk about DFS, you start to say, okay, this is how I can maybe pick out that this, I think Max might be popular because again, anyone could come here and see this, but I think these numbers and anyone, hey, look at all these finishes. Again, I think he's a solid pick, but if you want to be a little bit different, especially in a small field, this is where you might want to do what we call pivot and pivot to another player, especially ones that might not have the course history but fit um, the criteria here to be successful on this course. So let's continue scrolling up here. The next thing I like to do is I will go by the odds, right? You can just see, hey, who has the best odds based on the salary. This is how it's sorted coming in. Um, what I love about this is you can see that there's three players with a 7, 10, 11 to 1 odds, right? Then uh, Ludwig Aberg here is down all the way at the 18th. But Justin Thomas is sitting here in between a 7 and 11, a 10 at 9,700. So sure, Xander's amazing pick, Morikawa, amazing pick. But here's where you can easily see value, right? He's basically got the same odds, and you're going to save, about $300 or $400 between Morikawa here and almost $1,300 between Schauffele. And when you're thinking about the $1,300 savings, right? Sure, Schauffele would almost need to win it to pay off that 1,300 that you're extra that you're going to paying for him. Again, I'll be honest, I'm probably going to have Shoffley. But if I want to start with a nice player like Justin Thomas, who odds are favored here, this can easily show you where you might find some value or might not have to spend so far up. Take some of the emotion out of it. Again, play the golfers you like to play the golfers that you want to watch play, right? That's part of this whole thing. Of course, winning money is nice, but hey, if you love watching Xander play and you want to cheer for him and you got a little bit extra, why not, right? So nothing wrong with it, but I really like sorting this way so you can see some of the value. So Justin Thomas is going to be one of my favorite players here. Um, I don't know how you can stay away from Morikawa. I mean, the guy's literally top 10 since 2019. Um, Great putter, incredible ball striker, good approach game, iron play. I think that's what fits him so well here. Um, and I can see Morikawa having a really good week. Aberg's another one. So again, kind of sorting through here. it'll help you pick out the values. And also maybe some of the guys are a little quote unquote overvalued, right? Um, you've got some players that are right in this middle of the pack here. So it will help you decide, hey, do I go with the Ashke or do I go with the Wyndham Clark? Again, they're almost the same exact price. So sorting by this way will help you a little bit. Now, what I do like to do is once I start, I'll probably pick one of the lower ones down here first and then see what kind of salary I have to build up. So again, this is an amazing tool. Use it. I really appreciate that this is put out. Um, and I highly recommend using this tool to build your salaries. I also talked about going on the PGA Tour.com, using the app. One of the ones I talked about was the Horses for Courses. Um, Again, you don't have to do all this research yourself, y'all. It's right here. You have sleeper picks, expert picks. You can see the Horses for Courses will tell you everybody that's had success here in the past. Um, if it'll load. All right. And you can see really nice article here showing the ranks of the players, bogey avoidance, right? So it'll show you, you can always come down here, here's Morikawa again. Yeah, it's not right. He's the only player in the field to cash in the top 10 over the last 5 editions. Sounds like a guy who's eventually going to take the trophy home, right? Um, and then here's some of all your extra stats. So again, when you're deciding between two players and you're not really sure, if you come in here and you go, okay, maybe I'm gonna go JT Poston over Fitzpatrick, just because of his putting. 7 of his last 8 rounds are in the 60s, right? So really great information in here. It might be that one thing that, again, this is always going to be up to you to decide what tips the scales in your favor, but do yourself a solid. Come in here. Don't do all the extra work. This is already being done for you. Most of this you're going to find under the fantasy and betting tab that's up here. And that's going to have most of your information as far as the fantasy that we're going to be looking for. Here are the power rankings. I really like looking at the power rankings. Again, there's just a little bit of extra information that's in here that could help you. Some reason it's running a little slow today, but power rankings, and there's going to be a description you can see, right? Xander's right here at number 1. Morikawa is right there at number 2. JT, who we were just talking about right here, is up here at the number 5. He's also a 2-time champion here, right? So, hey, when I'm looking at that 9,700, I'm probably going to go with Justin Thomas, right? So, um, I will tell you that based off salary, just who I like this week. And again, I have a little bit of bias watching golf for a really long time. Sometimes some of these guys have burned me, and maybe I don't go with them just because of some things that happened in the past. But if you're new to this, right, that's actually sometimes a blessing because these guys, some of them haven't burned you, and you don't have that little scar tissue that you're like, I can't play JT again, or I can't play Matsuyama again. But here's some of my favorites. I love Xander. I'm not gonna lie. I know he's at the top of the field. Scheffler was before the injury withdrawal was the favorite here, but Xander's quickly become the favorite. He's a guy you don't want to bet against on Sunday. Um, just a solid all around player, putter. I see why he's the favorite, right? I am gonna have some Xander. I will have Justin Thomas in this top range. Um, I will probably play a little bit of Morikawa as well, but I may have to switch up depending on the lineups. Some of the guys that I'm probably going to do a wait and see. Um, Victor Hovland, again, solid player. I love that he did have some struggles last year. I'm gonna wait, kind of do a wait and see. Tony Finau's another one that kind of just broke my heart a lot last year. Um, he's a guy that could be very streaky. He may win 3 tournaments in a row, right? And then he may win 3 cuts in a row. He seems like a guy that should do well here, long driver of the ball. Sometimes the putting and the creativity around the green just doesn't cut it. But Tony's a very emotional player, and if he's hot, he's hot, right? But I probably won't be playing much Tony. Um, I really like Sahith Thagala. If you've never watched Sahith play, what an exciting player to watch. Really creative around the greens. Um, could putt very well. He can hit the ball really far. I think he plays really well, but amongst top competition, I'm probably gonna have a lot of Thigala in my lineup. Russell Henley kind of surprises me as a guy who doesn't do well here, considering what a good putter Russell is, but obviously he doesn't have a very good course history here. You can't really go off the cuts made because everybody makes the cuts. So of course everyone is going to be perfect at the event. But if the event is only 60 people and you're constantly at 52 or 30, that's probably wait and see for me for Russ. Um, I Cam Young. I'm probably going to sneak in some Cam Young here. I like the value between Day and Siwoo Kim. Um, man, again, a guy that could just pour birdies and eagles and put them together, and before you know it, he's 8 under. Of course, he's the same guy. You could start 8 under and then never hit another birdie. Um, but I really do like Cam Young. I think he's going to have a breakout year. I'd love to see it start right here in Hawaii and really start off strong on the leaderboard. Um, I will not be playing Keegan. It's nothing against Keegan personally. I think he's a great player. Doesn't finish well. He's one of the most frustrating players I've ever rostered in DFS. There is a couple tournaments throughout the year that I think you can plug Keegan into, but this is not one of them. Harmon, I'll probably definitely be playing Harmon. You think shorter hitter probably isn't going to do well on a really long course. Don't be fooled by that. Harmon could pour in birdies with the best of them. Even though he's a shorter hitter, the ball travels really far here on the course, and he should have no problem being set up for eagles more than you would think. I think that's why he finished really well last year here, and he's also, of course, a champion, right? A major champion. All right. So guys that my kind of quote unquote sleepers. Again, what I would do here is I would sort this by the salary, most expensive, come down here. And I've already done some research here. Uh, Cam Davis is one, 6,500. There's nothing wrong with Tom Hoagie. Hoagie had a really good stretch there last year where he was, you know, at DFS world scoring well, right? So I think Hoagie's one. Nick Taylor's another one that kind of struggles a little bit. I already mentioned Hadwin. So these are probably going to be the guys that I go with the most. I did see a lot of chatter out there with Ekro. Eckler was a guy that popped on the leaderboard a lot last year. He's obviously was a winner on the PGA Tour, right? That's why he's in the tournament. Um, some might pass over him because there's not a lot of recent, right? He hasn't played in this tournament before. However, He's a guy that can hit a lot of birdies and eagles, right? So that's going to be needed here, putting well here. Um, I think he's going to do really well. So if you're in between, if hey, I want to be different, I'm telling you, people are going to load up a Max Homa, but Eckroat's right there. Odd makers don't think it's too far off. And I bet you if he had the experience that Homa had, that's the only difference. It's a big difference. He played the course right multiple times. Max Homa's also plays well on the West Coast. He's a West Coast guy. Um, but I can see Eckroat doing really well here. So I really like Eckroat. Um, and that's really going to be my picks for this week. Uh, I will enter into a few of the winner take all contests. I will do some multipliers on DraftKings. I will probably make a bunch of different lineups in the drive the green contest. I don't do really expensive contests, y'all. So like the winner take alls, I'll probably do $20, where there's like maybe 10 of us, or 7 to 10, something like that. The multiplier, same thing. There's a $25 contest that I like a lot. That is the top nine get 75. There's only like 31 people in there, so that's a good return. So you don't have to be the top person. So of course, again, there's a no cut event, so it's going to be a little bit of a sweat, even if you think you're in the lead, because there's going to be golfers that could come back on Saturday and Sunday that normally may have missed the cut. But I'm excited for the first tournament of the year. I hope you all are, and I hope this was helpful. And really good luck to the tournament. And I will come back and post my results. Thanks for listening.